Welcome to the Haute Sugar Collective podcast, where the sugar is hot and reality bites. I'm your host, Emerlie Ann Miller. I'm the owner of Neo Sugar Rush. I'm a sugar artist, pastry chef, and Food Network champion. Being the first podcast episode, we need to talk about why I'm doing a podcast. This podcast is about honest conversations in the baking and creative industry, especially for those who are questioning what comes next. And I want to start by talking about why this podcast exists. So I've been in the cake industry for about 15 years. I used to have a custom cake business. I did a lot of wedding cakes, and I was just hustling myself into the ground. So I was working 80 to 100 plus hour work weeks almost every single week. I was burning myself out. I was pulling multiple all-nighters a week and just grinding like crazy because I thought that's what I had to do. I also was just trying to shove years of experience into a lot less years. I don't necessarily regret what I did at the time because I do feel like I've accomplished so much at a pretty young age, but in hindsight, I probably wouldn't do it again if I knew what I was doing to myself. And what I found post-pandemic was it wasn't just me who took myself out of survival mode forcefully and had a hard time coming back to that. I'm seeing so many people who, they took a pause from their cake business for a while. And when the world started going back to normal, they tried to go back to normal, back to doing their custom cake business. And so many people are realizing that they don't want to do it anymore. And that can be really frustrating, trying to get back to normal and realizing that that's not for you. And I'm just seeing a lot of people trying to navigate what comes next. A lot of people are leaving the cake industry and going back to normal jobs or finding another creative outlet that they haven't burned themselves out from. And a lot of people are trying to transition into the online space, or they're trying to figure out what other options are out there. And I can tell you, as someone who's been networking like crazy for so many years and getting to know a lot of people in this industry and hearing their stories, that there are so many unique ideas out there. There's so many ways to think outside the box and make money in this industry outside of just doing custom cake orders and grinding in and out every single day. While I do plan on talking to other business professionals in this industry who can give you some solid advice on how to elevate your cake business, whether you need to learn how to charge more money or how to get the clients that you desire, I also want to explore other ways that are thinking outside the box on how to make money, whether that's through other options like education, content creation, collaborations, licensing, digital products, brand deals, and so many other things that are out there. We're going to talk about it. Some episodes will be interviews, and others are going to be me talking to you honestly about the stuff that no one really prepares you for. And the reason that this matters to me is because I've lived it. I've worked this cake industry for so many years. I've ran my own business, and I ran myself into the ground, literally grinding like crazy for so many years. And there's just so many times where I would be pulling an all-nighter and my body would just start shutting down and I would just curl up in a ball and I would just cry my eyes out because I just wanted so desperately to go to bed and I couldn't because I had all of these cake orders and I had to finish them all on time and I had no time to sit, to use the bathroom, to eat, or even especially to sleep. And I just remember curling up so many countless times and just promising myself that it didn't always have to be that way, that I didn't always have to grind like that. And I don't necessarily recommend that for anybody else. And I just want to, give you guys some more options and hope to open up your eyes to what else is out there and that it doesn't have to be that way for anybody else. You don't have to overwork yourself. And whether that be just charging more money or looking for other options to supplement your income, there are options out there. Because a lot of people in this industry work at home by themselves, they don't have any help, they're doing it completely alone, it's really easy to get stuck in survival mode and not know how to get yourself out of it. It wasn't until the pandemic forced me to stop that I realized that this was no longer sustainable for me and I had to completely reevaluate my life and figure out what else I wanted to do instead. And after years of being in the industry and putting so much time and effort and money into building my skills, I didn't want to let that go. I didn't want to go get a normal job. And I wanted to find a way to take everything that I learned, all the investment into becoming this sugar artist. I wanted to take that and turn it into income that was a little bit more passive and more sustainable for myself. I have a lot of health problems. I've been dealing with health problems my entire life. And although I forced myself for many years to work like crazy despite those health problems, I am definitely getting to the age where I can't keep doing that, and I don't want to keep doing that. So if you've been feeling this too, you are not alone. I talk to so many people in this industry, and I can tell you that just about everyone is feeling the burnout and looking elsewhere. So if you're interested in hearing more, please like and subscribe and follow along on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Wherever you like to listen to podcasts, that's where I'm going to be. Thank you so much for listening to the first episode of the Haute Sugar Collective podcast. I'm your host, Emerlie Ann Miller of Neo Sugar Rush. And until next time, happy baking.